On this podcast clip, I had my good friend Stephan on the show, and he talked about how much work and effort he has put into building his YouTube channel. If you're looking to start creating content for your business or for your personal brand, this is going to be a really good section for you to analyze for somebody who has done it better than almost anybody. But on top of that, we talk about the differences between how he likes to create content and build his team versus how I like to create content and distribute myself. So I think you're going to learn a ton in this. Jump to the clip.
Dude, man, I just want to say, first off, on air, seeing your success drastically made me want to get into YouTube. I started last year during the pandemic, and I'd never heard of you. I see one of your videos, and then you're like, man, I'm over here making this amount of money.
Which
on
video
AdSense.
was it? Was it that video?
Yeah, it was just one of these, how much I make per month.
Oh, it must have been how much I make with 2 million subscribers. I'm guessing. Probably around the time I posted that.
Yeah, and I was like, I want, because people were like, you should get on YouTube. And I'm like, dude, YouTube's stupid. Like, what? Why would I'm busy running businesses? And then I watched your video and I go, nope, YouTube is not stupid. Like, that is crazy. Yeah. So that's awesome, dude. And then to see about a year and a half later, almost double the subscribers, and you're branching out into other things like businesses, and it's been cool, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone who has seen that video is all of a sudden like, I want to make YouTube videos now.
Dude, I was one of those
wild
guys.
Yeah. I've had so many people texting me too, even just old real estate colleagues, that they saw that video, or they saw one of those videos, or they saw like the CNBC Millennial Money.
Right.
And all of them are like, hey, so if I start a YouTube channel, I'm like, it's not that easy. And
No.
Very few people who have actually reached out have ever even posted a video. So I think it goes like they underestimate the amount of work. They just think, oh, I just post videos and I'll make hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
But oh gosh, it's
way
a
harder
grind.
than that.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say, I studied before I started posting. I knew, I'm like, dude, building a channel with millions of subs ain't easy. It took you years, and that was fast compared to everyone else, right? And I'm just like, man, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to treat it like a business. I need to study the craft of what being a YouTuber is, not just, I think most people, they go buy a camera and then just start talking without any kind of research or anything else. So I actually took your course, which was very helpful. And it's funny because at the time I remember taking it, and when you made that course, you might have had 300,000 subs or something. And to see your video of hey, I got 2 million subs, I'm like, okay, whatever he's telling me at 300,000 definitely applies to get to 2 million.
That was the thing that a lot of people, I don't want to say they complained about it, but they mentioned, because I made that program, I think it was about 2 years ago. It was 300,000 subscribers. And I laid out my blueprint. And in those videos, I'm like, I'm at 300,000 subscribers now. And people are like, well, it's not going to work anymore because now you have 3.5. I'm like, I've been doing the same thing. And that's why people are shocked to hear that, I still have the same equipment. Until recently, it was just me. And I've done everything on the main channel. I mean, that's just 100% just been myself. Nothing has changed.
Right.
And so that's why it's when the income goes up, my workload doesn't go up. The same thing today as I did 4 years ago, except now I'm getting more views. That's the only difference. So everything that I said in that video is still true today. It doesn't change.
Well, yeah, and I tell people that too. At the end of the day, the most successful people, there's no secret. They just do the same thing consistently over and over again. You don't miss videos. You get a video, you get all your videos out, always on schedule. You've been doing that for the last, 4 years?
It'll be 5 years.
5 years.
December 26th, it'll be 5 years.
Yeah, and there's no secret to that. It's just dude, you were disciplined to putting it out 5 years straight, not missing a beat. And in the early stages when you didn't know if it was going to be a career or anything, you just stuck with it, right?
I loved it. It was fun. It was it would be like going to the gym. It's just, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So for me, it was, I was going to do it regardless.
Right.
So it didn't matter
money,
if I was
great.
making money. Yeah.
And then the moment it started making money, it's hey, maybe I should really make this another level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought the course was great. And like you said, it doesn't matter how many subs you had at the time. All the same principles still apply.
Yep.
Create a good title, create a good thumbnail, be quick to, get them in the hook. And it's not rocket science. It's just figuring out your voice and, how to create great topics.
Yeah, especially in the beginning, SEO is so important. And that, of course it changes a little bit here and there, but overall, it's if you want to rank for real estate, the same principles apply to rank for real estate, but you got to make your video a little bit better than everyone else's. So always just taken the approach that you watch everyone else, you type in real estate, what are the top 10 results? Watch their videos and then make yours even better.
Right.
So that when someone clicks yours, they're going to watch for longer, they're going to subscribe, they're going to like the video, they're going to engage with it, and keep doing that.
Yeah. My take has always been, and tell me if you agree or not, is like, you obviously, if you're coming up in YouTube, and this was true for me, like, you don't want to try and do what, you do or Kevin does or, one of these other guys. Like, it's great to watch their videos and learn, but, if you're going to try and make the same exact content, they're just going to watch you. Like, what's the point of watching some new guy who has no, following yet or anything else? So it's like, I think if you're going to get in the space, whether your niche is real estate or stocks or, any niche, you have to be like different in some way. Do you agree?
Yes and no. So it's complicated for me because I feel like when I first started, there's nobody in the finance space. And I got in thinking I was too late, that YouTube is already saturated. But I was like, well, there's not a lot of finance content, so like maybe that could, I could just talk about that and I'll be able to stand out because maybe there are like 5 people making videos on finance. That was it.
Right.
The big guys were like Ty Lopez and Grant Cardone.
Those were the only finance guys?
That had any sort of following. Gary Vee, kind of, but his was more of like the hustle entrepreneur. For real estate, it was only Grant Cardone. Patrick Bet David a little bit, but that was really it. I mean, there were a few big guys on there with like big teams. And so my approach was, well, I'm going to take the opposite of that. I'm just a guy making videos for fun. I don't have a business. I have nothing to sell. It's just It's what I enjoy talking about. And that there's only a few people on YouTube at the time that were doing that. Now I see the people who basically just take my video and copy it, but they don't do as good of a job on it. And so those videos just never take off. But I've also seen channels gain a lot of success, like a ton of success. Sometimes even they get even more views than my videos do.
Right.
And I'm not going to call anybody out, but they'll basically take my video, paraphrase the entire thing, take almost the exact title, almost the exact thumbnail, except with their face on it. And their videos will do better than the videos that I did. And their content is like almost the same thing. But that's just the nature of YouTube. So it's like, I look at that and I'm like, I don't like, hate on it, but I look at that and be like, how did that video do better? Did they have better watch time? Was this appealing to their audience a little bit more? Did they make it funnier? So I watched those videos and I'm like, well, maybe I could remake mine, do mine a little bit better. So yeah. So it's possible, but like if you take inspiration from someone else's video, you have to make it better. Because otherwise, then it's just you're wasting your time.
Right. One thing that I'm curious about for your transition is, time continues to go on, is like, at what point do you think you'll start delegating more? And because I know you still do like almost everything yourself. I know you got Jack and Alex now who are fantastic, and that's allowed you to grow and get more time back. But like, do you ever see yourself being less attached?
No, I doubt it. I've been training Alex now to edit my main channel videos.
Yeah.
So for the last month, I've edited all the videos myself, but then I've paid him to edit the videos too.
Just to compare.
And then we compare side by side to see his edits versus mine, and we try to get them as similar as possible. So now he's started to edit my main channel videos. And, that's freeing up, 15 hours a week.
It's a lot.
I would say. Yeah, it is. It is. So that's allowed me to like do stuff like this. Because Alex is editing a video that might post today right now. So it's nice, but I kind of miss having that like that bit where it's like me, because the editing for me is really creative, and I just zone out and just kind of go through the motions, but you could add in your own little funny bits here and there. I still do that with Alex, but it's not the same. But Alex is able to put his own fun spin on things.
Right.
And
You're like,
I would
that was
say,
good.
Yeah, and I would say that, we spend probably 2 hours. So he edits a video for 8 hours, and I'll spend another 2 hours with him going over it myself.
You guys spend 10 hours editing one video?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his portion alone is 8 hours. He has not gotten that down yet. Eventually, he'll get good enough where he can do 5 hours, but, going over it again, and, like, every frame, I'm like, take that a little bit shorter, make that a little longer. Sometimes we'll drop the audio and extend it into the next clip so it doesn't sound like too abrupt of a cut. we'll put pictures over certain things, and I'll put my take on things. So we really try to craft it and make it like perfect.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe eventually I'll get another person. It's just minor things. Like sometimes I forget a lot of stuff. So if I could like snap my fingers and just pay someone to like remember everything for me, I would. But then it's managing another person, and then it's like, well, I may as well just do it at that point.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll attest to Graham's forgetfulness. I'll text him, and then like I'll get a text back later, like 2 weeks later. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot about this.
It sucks because I probably get like 30 to 40 texts a day, and it's like, and when I make the videos, I don't look at my phone. It's like I'm
you're in the zone.
strict about that. That the only people who get my attention really are like Jack, Macy, Alex. That's it. Like even I hate to say it, like even my mom and dad, like they'll like text during that, and I'll do my best to get back to them.
Right.
But like, yeah, when I'm during the week and I have to like get these videos out, like that's got to be the priority. Like otherwise the video doesn't get done.
Right. But I mean, at the end of the day, for everyone listening, that is the level that it takes to be the best in your craft. You know, at the end of the day, like you've made it. You know, you don't have to continue being so meticulous. Like, in my opinion, even if you spent 2 hours on a video, you would still do extremely well.
No. Yeah, I have to be more careful now.
Well,
because
but
I have to spend more time. But because so many people are watching.
Well, I would just say, like, my point is, you've only gotten to where you're at because you care that much about it, right? And so that you look at the greatest athletes, you look at the greatest businesses. We were just talking about Steve Jobs. He was famous for being so meticulous about every little detail of it. And for you to be that meticulous about your craft, you know, your video is, you know, your craft, and, you know, every frame by frame, breaking it down, putting 10 hours still into these videos when you could just cash it in at this point, right? Like, that says a lot about why you got to where you're at.
Yeah.
So that's super cool, man.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever outsource to that point where I could walk away or just like get a script every day and just like say the script and leave and like trust somebody. Even all the titles and thumbnails I do myself still.
That's crazy.
Every single one of them.
Right.
Because it's got to be perfect. If there's any sort of error on a title or thumbnail that's not perfect, there goes the entire video. It's like then the whole video is ruined.
Right.
So it's got to be perfect.
Thanks for watching that clip from the Ryan Pineda Show. If you want to see the full interview, you can actually find it in the link below. Make sure you also subscribed on both YouTube and Apple Podcast.